next week in preparation for our partner, the Planetary Health Alliance's big annual summit. Oh yeah, we are recording. Okay, cool. And yeah, so one of the big things that we just released is what we're calling our holonic architecture, which enables groups to be infinitely nested with as many child groups as they want and many parent groups. And it's kind of the next big step in the platform to enable the mapping of relationships between groups and the connections and collaborations that happen. And there's more to do there. Not everything is a nesting relationship. There's groups that are just obviously partnering and pure collaboration. And so there's more to add to that, but it's a really exciting step. And we're already starting to see just in the last couple of days how cool it is to be able to connect all the different groups in the ways that they're related on the platform. And then see them also on the geographic map. And so the other big news, besides there's a bunch of other features that are coming out, and that's Claire, you could actually share the release notes from our past release. That might be interesting.
Yeah.
But also in the last couple of weeks, a bunch of funding seems to have come forth. Some of it has landed already, and some of it is coming soon, likely, through a partnership with a bunch of amazing regenerative agriculture organizations. So the goal being with this alliance to have Hilo be the platform for the regen ag movement, for farmers to connect with each other and share information and share data about how they're working in their fields and learn from each other, as well as connecting with people who want to understand their local food systems better and find their local farms and farmers. So that's amazing, and it seems like it's going to fund our work for the next year, if not years, and allow us to do a lot more of the bioregional coordination and organizing and mapping and all the stuff that we're really excited to do. So very exciting. We also raised some money for a different project that's related called the Collaborative Technology Alliance through a group called One Project. And so that's another really exciting partnership. And that's about how do we weave together all the tech platforms that are trying to do good work in the world and collaborate and create interoperability. A couple other quick Terran announcements. We're also working on an event at the end of the month that you all should check out called Rebuild, which is for people building regenerative villages. Many of you here, I know that particularly Nikki and James and Colin would be likely interested in here. I'll post a link to it. But it's a really great lineup coming together. We are going to be leading three sessions actually, one on Hilo, one on kind of bioregional or regional approach to village building and why it's important to be woven into a region and a network of communities, as well as think bioregionally and how we work with the land. And then the other main session that we're doing is, we haven't totally picked a name yet, something about transformation and healing through community building, transformative justice. Perhaps we were going to call it decolonizing community, but how do we have the sort of movement to create intentional communities and eco-villages and regenerative villages not be just a white privilege thing, basically. So those are the two main topics we are talking on. Anything else? Claire, I know you're speaking at a couple cool events coming up, including the Global Eco Village Network Summit tomorrow morning.
Yeah. So the Global Eco Village Network is having their summit over the course of the next week, starting on Friday, and they're going to have speakers from some of the most legendary eco villages around the world. So that's going to be very cool, and yeah, very excited for that. And they're going to be they're launching a community on Hilo alongside the summit, and that's going to be the place where all the conversation happens during the summit and afterwards. So I'm going to be kicking things off for them with a little talk about Hilo and demo to Hilo tomorrow morning. And then another thing I'm participating in is the Systems Change Alliance is having a summit in May where I'll be speaking about technology as a commons. Yeah. So it's going to be good. Yeah. Okay. Anything else to bet? Neha, Aaron? Thumbs up. Great. Well, then without further ado, I'd like to invite you all over to our Miro, and we can introduce this whole exercise. I'm going to share my screen so you can just follow along with me if you want, or you can feel free to go in there yourself. Can everyone see this beautiful Bay Area bioregion? Great. Yeah, so for the next I think 45-ish minutes, because we're going to leave some time for reflection and synthesis at the end, we're just going to do like casual co-working and think about all the groups we know in the bioregion that are doing work that we love, that we admire, that we think is contributing to a better world. And if that group has an actual location, whether it's a specific location or kind of a general area of practice, great. Pull a Post-it note and put it in the, roughly the right area. Or if it's not actually like land-based, you can just put the Post-it note wherever you feel inspired to add it. But yeah, and we can kind of talk about it as we're doing it. But the goal is just to see, just amongst this group of 14 people, how many groups can we surface? And so I think we can expect to learn a lot about what's happening and encounter some new groups. Yeah, and ultimately this kind of artifact, we hope will be reflected in Hilo, where currently this similar functionality actually exists already. But we thought it would be just easy for now to do this exercise in Miro, and see what surfaces. Yeah. So I see Lisa and Tibet starting to pull some Post-its.
It's interesting on the choice of regional organizations as a separate category, because I sort of think of it as across, like a regional in any one of these categories.
Yeah, and I would say the categories here are not set in stone or definitive.
I understand they have a different aspect to mapping, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the regional organization was something like the NorCal Resilience Network, which is a broad organization doing a bunch of different stuff for the region as a whole. That was what I was seeing that as.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Or even like an intergovernmental organization.
Organizations with jurisdictions but not locations, maybe.
Yeah.
Actually, figuring out the categories is also an interesting conversation.
For sure. And that's totally fair game.
That's mapping too.
I'm curious. I was realizing as we were using this map, how not having the city names and the normal boundaries might impact things. Like how easy it is to use. Yeah, saying we should play some music. Let's see.
Maybe if people aren't totally sure where to land it on the map, they can just type in what I'm about to do, like San Jose, California, in addition to whatever the organization is.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. And maybe to share just another type of approach, I'm going to go full on bulk mode and just think about all of the amazing organizations that I think of when I think of this bioregion, and then just move them around on the map if I can feel like there is a lat long associated with them.
Mm-hmm.
There are many different ways that we can move forward with this. I think we just know that within this group, we could tell just from the check-ins, there are so many incredible projects and things happening all over. So how can we get a better sense of what that is through this practice?
Also use the comments feature to like add information or things, resources, stuff we know or questions we have about each one.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, all kinds of fun friends are here. Hi, Kevin. For those who are just
really need this.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm just kidding. For those who are just joining us, we are mapping the ecosystem. We're on a Miro board here, and maybe Tibet can drop the link into that, or you can just watch what we're doing. But we're just thinking about all the organizations we know and love that are doing work to make a more beautiful world anywhere in the Bay, and we're putting them on the map and seeing what comes up.
I was going to try and put on music, but you would have to do it, Claire.
I find I'm accidentally dragging the map sometimes. I don't know if that might be locked.
Oh yeah, we can lock or maybe the board owner can lock the map.
If you know how to do it, Neha, I would want you to do it.
Yeah, I think
I just
Tibet
did
just did it.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Great.
Did we just do that? Yeah, we did.
Jinx.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many.
That hiccup?
That was a baby hiccup, yes.
You can also add links to the text. Some exciting news I just heard about is Mechanical Farm just is opening up their new house that they bought right next door, and it's going to be an Ohlone house. The initial residents being Ohlone people that are connected to the Gloria Te Land Trust, who should be on this map.
And there's a new group trying to organize a resident-led homeless encampment and working with the city and the land trust at the site down the street from Canonical, and it sounds like they didn't know about them. So it's already thinking about the cross connection and education potential.
How would I define common wheel?
I'm going to feed this little guy for a minute. So Aaron's going to take over on my side.
Okay.
All right, friends, I must run. Keep mapping. And
Good to meet you, James.
Tibet. Hilo, should I talk to you about that?
Yeah, yeah. Feel
Okay.
free to send an email. We can make a time.
Easy enough. Cool. I'll shoot you an email. Farewell. Happy mapping.
Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Eric here. I'm going to jump also, but how do I follow up and get back to this map when I'm not driving?
We can post the Miro link in a few places. Send it out in email. We'll probably post it in the Facebook event. Yeah, we'll make sure you get it.
What's your email,
great.
Eric?
It's OAKERIK@gmail. Oak Eric.
Cool. And we have your email from Cospiracy too.
Yep,
We'll
I'm
find
all
that.
in the email loops, but it's good to check back with you guys. The map
Yeah.
looks pretty exciting. Get her done.
Well, safe journey wherever you're traveling to.
Okay, toodaloo.
I'm kind of, whoops, I'm in the same boat. I have to keep cooking dinner and I'm watching. So if you share it later, I'd love to see what's there and see if we could add some things.
Beautiful.
And so
Yeah.
great to see how it's coming together. I'm glad you're doing this. It's great.
Yeah. And thank you for all your work with the stuff that's happening in the Bay and LA and the ecosystem restoration camps. And I know we have a lot that we want to learn and hear from you. So
Oh,
yeah, would love to find a time just to deepen and share.
yeah, thank you all. You're all amazing. And these guys, I think will really learn a lot from what you're doing too. So be well and thank you. Take care.
Enjoy dinner.
Take care. See you, Marissa.
Bye-bye.
We also had Aaliyah and Kevin join us. I don't know if you want to check in while we're working here and say hello and introduce yourselves. Feel free.
Just listen.
I have one of my Post-its that seems to be stuck because it's just got it's kind of grayed out and it's got my picture and name on it. And I can't, it doesn't move or go anywhere and I can't delete it. So,
Do you have two tabs open maybe?
no.
Because it looks like someone is clicking on it, which means that you can't click on it at the same time.
Well, I'm clicking on it now. That's me clicking on it. I'm just trying to click on it. but it doesn't do anything if I click on it.
Yeah.
I noticed I had the app open on the tablet and then make sure that's closed.
Um,
You could also try reloading the page.
Maybe you locked it.
well, not that I know of. And I tried to click on it to see if I can unlock. But anyway, yeah, I might just try to log out of Miro and log back in.
There's one downside of the tablet. You can't simultaneously Zoom and be visible in Zoom and do other apps.
I dropped Pavone Ranch on there. We're a little bit off the map to the east, but this is super interesting. I know Nikki's running around and games dropped off, but just to speak a little bit to how useful this is for us. I mean, we feel like there's so much work to do, like in building out our farm and getting folks in. So this is super useful to see that there's so many people around who could be potentially helpful. So it's thrilling to see. And if see folks or folks are interested in coming out to Pavone, we're thrilled to have folks out here as well. It's still early, and but it's very exciting that we're putting in. There's going to be a winery that lands on this property that gives some pretty exciting entitlements to hold events and festivals. So we're really excited to hold space for people over time. Really excited to plant and grow food, and then navigate landing tiny homes and stuff like that with zoning. And I'm kind of curious, like if folks here know if different counties are more different, how different groups have navigated zoning and things like that in the area. It seems very tricky for us to land a lot of tiny homes in the land here. So I'm curious to hear what folks in the call have to say about that.
Good question.
The missing Betsy of Betsy and Rains is actually a city planning PhD who's given some talks and is preparing one related to Tiny Fest coming up, the San Diego one and one in Australia the same weekend on legalizing tiny home villages and what, from a planning point of view, what are the challenges? And yeah, it's been very hard to do things legally other than as a mobile home, an RV park. And we're looking at a site as in Antioch as a potential mobile home park. Yeah.
It's really interesting. You say Tiny Fest. I'm gonna have to look this up.
Tiny Fest, California, and San Diego mid-May.
Okay, I want to check it out. There are some interesting things we can do here with like farm worker housing, but and there's also we're on agricultural land, so there's requirements of growing 10 acres on each parcel that we have here. I mean, the overall vision that Nikki and his family have, which I'm really excited about, is that we can invite a lot of other people to land in this area and create a village of villages in a way.
Since you're off the map, maybe you could say what the area is.
Oh, sure. We're in Ione, California, which is the Miwok people land. It's in Amador County, kind of near Jackson, California, or Sutter Creek. I'm still learning the ropes. I'm from Boston, but I've been out here for the last 3 or 4 months, and I'm learning my way around. Yeah, but that's where we are.
I grew up in Newton, was born in Beverly.
Oh, nice. Very cool. That's awesome. And now I heard you're living in Berkeley co-housing now, which it sounds awesome. I feel like Berkeley and Cambridge are sister cities.
Yeah. Whoa. Somebody just copied in a million things at once. That was cool.
Yeah, that was me, bulk mode, post it. It's easier on my wrist if I do that. Colin, that's really interesting. And I think that the conundrum that you're experiencing is a very common one with all of the zoning and understanding the intricacies of what you are and are not able to do. If you have a couple of sentences describing what you are dealing with and just have some specific asks or want to talk to folks, we do have a lot of friends who have navigated these waters and these lands, and a couple of folks were very well versed in both the I guess real estate literature, financial literature, legal frameworks when it comes to residential and agricultural zoning. So if you want to drop us a line, we're happy to put you in touch with whoever might be able to help. I'll drop an email in chat.
Great, that'd be super. I think I'm also really interested in just like helping start a policy conversation and working on efforts like that. So if folks who are or how to help out with that too, because it's so frustrating. It's like illegal to live in so many ways. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I talk to you about
Betsy would like to say something about someone locally who's struggling with that in Oakland. And put her on.
Or more to the point.
Yeah, here, let me flip you around.
Sorry.
You can actually see people. The map is in formation.
Hi,
Hi, Betsy.
I'm kibitzing. Hi. I'm just checking names. Hi. Well, who's up there in Amador?
Colin.
It's me, Colin, but I'm also, I'm here representing Nick Chipillo, who's also on the call. He's just launching an event right now. So
okay.
I'm
sorry. I only have four faces. So I just want to say yes to policy conversation and pathways to making it legal in different counties, because that's pretty much the route you have to go, unless we could do build support at the state level. And I'm not sure we quite have that yet, except for maybe in backyards. But I would love to do that. And but I guess I get a chance to pitch for a small behind the fence group of people living in trailers and vehicles in West Oakland. And they've been there 3 or 4 years under a master lease that one person holds. And it's down to about 6 or 7 people. And now a neighbor has chosen to complain. So city officials, inspectors have come and told them all the things they have to change. The only ones they can't do without closing down is remove the trailers, tiny homes, and other shelter places, housing quarters that aren't considered legal, permittable housing.
Who's behind this?
Adam Garrett Clark. So he's got a petition that we at East Bay Co-Housing will definitely be endorsing. He doesn't yet have a legal strategy. It's more about just winning supporters in Oakland who would speak up for them. But I think we need the policy strategy and what's the pathway. So, but they've been targeted, whereas a few other places, such as the Place for Sustainable Living, have managed to like fend off those kinds of shutdowns. So I think there's partnered. But if any of you would like to know more about the petition, Rains will send you some links.
I'll put it on the map if I can find it.
Yeah, getting Eco Village and regenerative small housing communities that are bigger than just housing, that are communities is definitely a project that needs focused attention. So. Thanks for letting me drop in. I'm just on the other side of the window from Rains.
Thanks.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. We ended up, a neighbor noticed we'd moved some trailers, and we got an inspection from the county. Which ended up being them just driving by and seeing that we removed the trailers. They didn't even come on the land, thankfully. But it almost feels like there's also like a pitch to be made to counties to say, hey, look, if you are cool with tiny communities, there's a lot of upside. And I don't know, but it's tough because I feel like whoever does this well, whichever counties because it really feels like it's a county level thing for some reason to me. But whatever
they have zoning authority and permitting authority. Right.
And so maybe it's a county by county pitch where you go in and say, hey, we need a special something special in the bylaws that says, and maybe it's a policy conversation of figuring out what's amenable, what that policy pitch is, and then doing it in multiple counties and having a coordinated effort. But it's super frustrating because, it's, trying to live in a small footprint house or live in community in these tiny homes is practically illegal and can be shut down just by one neighbor complaint.
Yep. It's yep. And I have enough of a planning background to be able to chart some pathways, but it takes local support. It's not just about making a rational pitch to a council. Be good to do a little background. So I'd love to strategize with you up in Amador. But it's needed in many places, either a specific kind of land use. The state has to approve new kinds of legal codes. And anyway, it's more complicated than even I want to do, but it is possible, I believe, with work. It might be easier to stay in the gray zone, but we got to do the work to make it legal and safe. Yeah, cool. Thank you. Share contact info.
So I have to, this is Lisa, I have to leave for another meeting, but will this board stay up? Because then I can kind of go through my notes and find some other organizations and still put them on if it's still open later. If I go to that same link through Miro, can I add to it later?
Yes, definitely.
So it'll still be there. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I really appreciate it that you all are doing this. It's good to see you again after a long time. And it's exciting to see the organizations that exist. So
thanks for coming by.
See you.
I was going to say that we went to visit this beautiful community, Wild and Radish, in El Sobrante a couple of weeks ago. It's connecting to Planting Justice. And they have 7 parcels, 13 acres, a bunch of farmland, and a bunch of tiny homes. And apparently they got in trouble. Some neighbor complained, but then somebody from the county came, I think, and said, basically, if I can't see it from the road, you're fine. So they're making it work.
Right there. That was part of what we did too. It's like if we had just hidden it a little bit better, maybe, or put in trees first, maybe. It's right. But it's so frustrating that you have to play that game, right? It's like if there was a new type of like community zoning, and it's really interesting what they do in Japan, I think, where they have inclusive instead of exclusive zoning. Only certain zoning excludes housing, like so commercial. A lot of commercial has included is how like housing residential sits on top of commercial. So it's like, they only remove zoning. They don't designate it as exclusively one kind of zoning, I believe. But it's it'd be great to sort of pitch at a policy level, and get even get counties to compete to get these tiny villages in a little bit, or something, just to, I don't know, it's because I feel like as long as we're off the books, it's hard for these communities to really generate and hold resources and wealth in the same way. It could be really cool if we figure out a cool policy solution. So frustrated.
Yeah, absolutely. So Nick Bertulis join us. Welcome. If you want to unmute and say hello and introduce yourself.
Nick knows lots about tiny.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I prefer the term pre-legal to illegal. Yeah, just trying to download Miro and learning this neat new platform. Happy to help with some mapping. I think the only thing I have to announce is you're all invited this Sunday from 11 to 2 at Canticle Farm. We're going to be planting our creek restoration. We just daylit a creek that was buried for decades. So,
Wow.
So cool.
It's gonna be fun.
Really exciting. Yeah.
At what time, Nick?
Starting from 11 and ending around 2, probably longer. There is an open interfaith liturgy at 9 as well. That's always very beautiful and interesting.
I've been wanting to go to that for a long time. Are they now open to people?
I've never seen them closed to anyone. So
are they indoors?
It's outdoors.
Oh, it's outdoors. Okay.
Yeah, and a lot of masks, but a lot of social distancing.
I have to say, at the Youth Empowerment Village launch last Friday, it was, for many of us, I think, our first group event in a year, and it's incredible. Outdoors and spread out and safe, but just that dynamic, just being reminded of what seeing other people and having interactions other than through this narrow channel can do.
Yeah, so excited to start getting together. How's everybody doing? Are we feeling like still a lot more to do, or we're?
There's so much to do, but then it's so distracting to watch the live feed and see it evolve, see things start to replace.
Yeah, it's fun. I think maybe we'll do this for another 5 minutes, and then we can break for kind of discussion and reflection, or obviously people can keep adding.
That sounds great.
Is Segura Tay on here?
Yeah,
Yes.
So,
at least once.
I put it in the I'm not sure where this goes box.
I put it over in the East Bay.
Oh, okay, great. One thing that's cool, if I'm remembering correctly, is we can actually export all of the post-its as a CSV. So if folks want to look at an actual list, then we can do that.
This gets into those interesting questions of like, okay, I know a resource. How public do they want to be? Showing on a map generally is one thing. Being in an organized list, it crosses over like from phone directory into a different abilities, web searchable.
Eventually, we want all this to be on high-low, and then people can choose how public they want to be.
I'm just reading that Miro now has a feature that has a countdown timer with music.
Nice. That's a good idea. Looks like you have to pay for it though.
Interesting part I found in my mapping work in the related to organizations in the elder space is that the level I really need is instead of the people level, because it's often one person affiliated with several organizations that really brings them together and adds the meaning.
Totally. That's what we want to get. The systems map of all the relationships.
Yeah, and that's an interesting question in the context of Hilo as well, because we notice that so many times, yes, there's an organization, but there's actually a human who's typically sharing information on behalf of the organization. So how do we actually allow those two things to be distinct?
I kind of like the concept of a person's post getting lighter and lighter color, so fading away the more different organizations they represent to indicate some aspect of the stretch thing.
Mm.
At the same time as rewarding, frequent contributors.
Mm-hmm.
Now just going in and adding some links. Thanks, Betsy, for adding the petition.
The other interesting thing I came across was the Oakland A's ballpark proposal, to put it right, by Jack London Square on the corner of the base. And it's like, this is something that in all of its social justice and environmental aspects plans to be or claims to be greener than anything else in town, or even a larger scale than anything we're doing, moving things in that direction.
Cool.
Is NorCal Resilience Network on here?
It is. sure.
I also think Alethea Springs is in the wrong place.
Exit. Can't have that.
With the neighborship, I'm trying to experiment with the logo tied to the post-it. I imagine on some level we might switch to graphics if we're available.
Yeah, that's great.
I feel like we can open up the floor a little bit more in our last 10 minutes here if people have thoughts or reflections. There were also other announcements that didn't get shared, but just how was this exercise?
I'll share one last thing, which is that we're in pre-production for this docuseries Exploring Community, and we would love to come and film and interview and talk to people about to highlight different communities. So if folks are open to that, I'd love to connect. I'll drop my email in here, and the idea is just to start a conversation. Hopefully, again, be able to impact policy, but to show what's possible and exchange practicum, and I'm pretty excited about learning about what everyone's doing too. So, we have a list of folks that we think would be great, and we're just trying to grow that list and think about who would be great to talk to. So, yeah, it's my offer and ask for help. I guess we're really excited to feature some of these communities and show the world a little bit more what's going on behind the scenes and dig in. And so, that's a project I'm really excited about, and love to collaborate with anybody here. And so it's also interesting because it's also a little bit of like the community enterprise model. We're working at Pavoni, where we think we can launch projects out of our community village and incubate, both software and media projects and other kind of products. So it's a little bit of a first project in that sense too, and we're excited to see to launch a project out of our community as well.
Colin, I feel like y'all should talk to the mushroom farm. The people at the mushroom farm, it's down in near Santa Cruz. If you see it on the map, it's a red post-it down there. And they have a 700-acre property that they're trying to do a lot of very similar stuff and running into similar challenges and facing them and being creative about how they face them as well. And I think there could be a lot of, synergy there about learning and information sharing.
Yeah, thanks for that, Aaron. I've been meaning to get Colin off of Pavoni Ranch and out to Mushroom Farm. He's been kind of grounding there right now, and we need to go reconnect with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great folks.
Good to see you.
I'll be pasting in National Co-Housing Open House Day, which is May 24th. Most of the Bay Area communities are doing virtual things, but there'll be some opportunities to regionally gather around that.
Yeah, one thing I noticed from this process is that I feel like there's so much that is not represented that it's like in this moment it's hard to bring to my mind. Like, yeah, I see Gabby. Yeah, it's like, gosh, I know of like 50 land projects, but they're not coming to my mind right now. And realizing that like this is a long-term process. And I guess I just want to like figure out how to design the prompts in the future to activate our collective memory and bring in the relevant information at the right time. Yeah, that's where my mind's at.
Yeah, that resonates with me. And I think that I found myself, so I slightly cheated. I found myself in that scenario so many times that I started a spreadsheet for myself. Whenever I found a cool project that I either wanted to check out later, whatever, like just the lowest level technology, I just created a list. And then I remember about maybe even 2 years ago, Claire Kelly and I sat together and just jammed for like 3 hours. Like, what are the coolest organizations that we all know of? And I still go back to that list because when I'm in a moment of like, wait, I'm looking at this map, what do I know that's happening here? I can't be generative. So I had a moment where I just referred back to that list and was grateful for my past self and our past selves for doing that.
That's where that batch import came from, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm also really excited to build in collaborative mapping like this directly into Hyla, so it just then would be in a permanent place that we can keep adding to. I mean, it already exists, but like being able to do it on the map, like click somewhere and add something immediately, like really quickly, it's going to be so cool.
I've been since I drove across the country to get here. You know, I was moving out. I used an app called Gaia GPS, and you know, as you're like designing your software, I don't know, you probably are familiar with it, but I'm a big fan because you can bring in these like real time layers of data. So you can be like, all right, what's the next 48 hours of rain going to be in this area? It has native lands. It has, I mean, it's just so many cool maps. And it's been so fun to play with and like get it, you know, I took like a couple of GIS courses in college, but it's been so fun to kind of dig back into it. And yeah, so I'm excited to see that on Hilo too. I'm playing with Hilo right now. It's pretty rad. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, adding layers is one of the big next things we are also working on. Wow, it's looking good. One thing we've learned is that everything is in the East Bay.
At least from our point of view here.
Yeah, or we're skewed to know according to this sample size.
Some of both.
East Bay is where it's at.
Yeah, for sure.
Is Wanda's gar? Oh, there it is. I see. Hoover.
Yeah, I'm with Aaron on the things not coming to memory. I'm sure I'll go back to this and add other things as they arise. But yeah, the peninsula could use some more love for sure. I'll work on adding some more to that. There's a few more. I added some, but a lot to learn from the East Bay for sure.
We're on our time here together.
Hey, just a thought on the mapping software. It might also be cool to in Hilo to add like material flows or people flows. Like, is there somebody that drives once a week back and forth on a road? You know, like that kind of thing. You know, because catching things in motion on the map seems really tricky. But if you could figure it out, it might be really useful to catch like regular movement and migrations and flows and stuff like that. It'd be really interesting.
Absolutely. And like surfacing it in a way that people can coordinate without having to, send their stuff via UPS. It'd be like, hey, you're already headed here. Can you take this package with you?
I also feel like that would help with trying to find places of, when we are able to get together in person, of where are those like center places that would be able to bring the most amount of people together based on just accessibility and who you're reaching out to. So that, I think that's a really cool product of that as well.
Well, maybe since there's only a few of us, a couple minutes left, we want to do just one last round, a checkout round, and everyone can just say a couple words of how we're eating today. Of course, folks are welcome to stay. I have to leave myself, but
You started it.
I am feeling colorful. I love seeing. I like that the plain background of the map makes all the colors of the different types of organizations pop out. I'm really excited to see what we can do with this. How about you, Nay?
I'm feeling energized and hungry. Go Nick. Or Nikki, I guess.
Yeah. Hopeful, excited, and playful is where I'm feeling right now. And really excited to just continue this conversation and help weave kind of all the different quilts that are being built by all the different communities. I really see myself as one of those kind of bridge makers between different places. And so excited about that. Thanks everyone for doing this.
Yeah, good to see you.
I'll jump in since he was, quick to be on the switchboard with somebody else to weave. Yeah, I'm feeling a little physically tired, but spiritually very energized and grateful that y'all are doing this. And it's beautiful to see how much we can do when we all come together for an hour and a half call. And I will pass it to Griffin.
Yeah, I think I really relate with a lot of what other people were saying, as well as just very much engaged and kind of just by everything that's going on in this map, like visually engaged, intellectually engaged. And that's just a very exciting thing to be happening kind of from within and without. Let's see. Rains?
Going back to make sure I got everything from the chat. That's cool. I just, looking over the range of the map and the range of colors and thinking about, and now I want to go look in and see who placed these different colors. And so who has the different connections in these areas, because that's, as a connector myself, my work is always in finding and meeting other connectors and helping build that capacity in people. So growing potential. I see the glow. Spoken. Who else? I'm only seeing the miniature view here.
I can go, Rance.
Go for it.
Yeah, I guess I'm feeling enlivened. I've been learning about a lot of new orgs and initiatives, and it's exciting. Yeah, feel alive. What about you, Nick?
I
Oh, you got muted somehow.
No, we can't hear you. I think you accidentally got muted.
Oops. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, now you're good.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm feeling wind blown. It's windy out here on the coast today, and I'm really feeling the winds of change coming. And I feel like this pandemic is kind of squeezed the organism of social society, and it's like now it's just bursting outwards as there's the anticipation of normalization, or new normalization perhaps is better. So, and feeling connected. So thank you all for coordinating this weaving.
Yes. Thank you for coming. Is that all?
Betsy.
There you go. How do you feel about all this?
Well, I was curious about Rains's this sort of placid silence that went over the call, and that was lovely. I'm over here working on something else, but I also love maps, and I'm a database person from way back, so bringing information and living examples of my values is always a joy. So I didn't realize you were mapping, but I appreciated the pool of silence that came about at various points. So thank you. I'm feeling good.
And you have the chocolate wrapper here?
I do. Here you go.
Highly recommended for this kind of work.
Well, we just pulled it out.
It's the perfect smooth ending to it.
Let's see, where's my camera? Oh, it's upside down and.
They see it right, I'm sure.
Oh, you see it right?
You should.
Endorphin chocolate.
Yes,
Oh,
the best.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta jump off and help make house dinner for tonight, but so good to see you all. Much love. I'll leave this open if people want to hang out for a little bit longer.
Taking off as well.
Maybe we'll check off.
It's about.
Thanks to
Colin.
Vet. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Aaron.
Well, we got to hear from Colin first.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll wait for that.
Oh no, that's okay. Well, I was just gonna say thanks. I'm feeling great as well. I'm excited and delighted to have met you all. It feels great to be in a network of people with shared values about the planet and community, and what we can all achieve together. So checking out high, and delighted to meet you all, and look forward to meeting in person as soon as we can. So cheers, great to meet you all. I'm gonna hop off as well, but excited for the conversation to continue. I dropped my email in chat if anyone wants to stay connected. I'd love to meet you all.
Thanks, Colin.
Bye.
Thanks all. See you next time.
Yeah. Peace.
How would continuing to connect work with y'all high-low people and everything? Just leave my email?
Yeah, we'll email you. I mean, you can also email us and tell us how you want to connect.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can try us at info@terran.io.
Yeah, we all get that email address.
We're on a couple of different platforms and also working on the transition towards healthier relationship with technology and platforms. So we understand the irony in dropping all of the different socials.
It's
Email,
valid.
yeah, email is the best way to get started.
Sounds good. Well, appreciate linking with y'all and meeting y'all. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thanks for
Take care.
joining.
Hey, Niha and Aaron, and Tibet, who isn't here. I would love to align a trip out to Pavoni Ranch for you guys to do a small gathering that then could, potentially house a larger gathering. But it would be great to just have you out and kind of show you our project and what we're doing and where we're at so far. So if there's a way to align that, that would really be awesome.
Yeah, strong yes. We know you have to probably get that call, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm in my family's like restaurant right now, and I'm just like, I'm spreading myself a little too thin these days. But I just officially fired myself today, and so
congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I literally just went around the whole building, told everyone as the CEO, I fired myself. And I'm finding my replacement. And now my partner and I are leaving San Francisco after 8 years. And we're finally moving to our property full time so that we can actually really, really build this thing that we've been desiring to build with everyone. So yeah, I fired
so
myself
exciting.
today. It feels good.
Incredible.
Yeah, we want to come visit. Sounds awesome.
Yeah. I will have Colin reach out just because I'm spread a little thin right now to kind of connect and see if we can get a data line. That would feel really good.
For sure.
Yeah. And I was there at Ecospiracy and in full support of like everything you guys are doing and have been tracking. And so, yeah, thanks for holding the space and doing what you're doing.
Wow,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Congratulations again.
Thank you, brother. Yeah. Yeah. And did I hear you have a baby now?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
He's right over here.
Amazing.
He's getting fed right now. Yeah, we've been busy. But yeah, let's schedule time to come up and see what you're up to.
Yeah, that would be fun. Hi.
This is Sequoia.
Hi, Sequoia. Hi, Claire. Oh, wow.
Hi.
Yeah. I realize it's the kids I haven't had yet that are pulling me into this future that I'm designing. So yeah.
They're coming for you.
I know. Happy day, everyone. Thank you.
Take care, brother.
Yeah. Bye for now.
Take care. Bye. See you, Rains. It was great to hang out.
Rains, you're the best. Betsy's so great. Congratulations on all your becoming a modern elder.
Well, or trying. I've always called myself an aspiring elder. So inspiring is the next step, then expiring, I guess.
Well, it sounds like folks are noticing.
As opposed to respiring.
And I just invited Adam, who's behind the neighborship, onto this map. But he's somebody that we would have had on the call had we planned a little more, and is definitely organizing around tiny home stuff, specifically in community building.
Oh, cool.
Adam Garrett Clark.
Tiny Logic.
Yeah, Tiny Logic, his company, and his neighborship is the new venture. To put a face on and be more public about it. Anyway, I'll get him plugged in. Thank you.
Thanks, Rain. See you all soon.
Have a great evening.
Eat that chocolate for us.
Yeah.
No, we're doing our part. I'm trying to make sure I've got the last email before I lose the chat.
Yeah.
G-Cloud Levine. Okay.
Great. Oh yeah, I gotta save this chat. How do I do
With the
that?
recording, it also automatically saves.
Okay.
And I highly recommend that live transcript feature.
Yeah, I
Gives
think
you
that's
that
now the
search
third
bar.
time you've told us about that. I'm sort of wagging our
Zoom is such a
tail
pain.
in
You have to
our
remember to
legs.
go to the web to turn on these things.
Yeah.
Once you do that once, then it's available for all calls.
Okay, yeah, I think we need to go do that in settings. But each time you mention it, I'm like, shoot, we definitely wanted to do that, but we forgot. So thank you again.
gcloudlevine@gmail. Got it. Yeah, we were just, before this publishing the video from our Panthers meeting, realized, okay, we've got to get the chat and we've got to get the transcript, and there's a whole tale of work following each of these.
Exactly.
Great. Okay,
All right.
we're gonna get some dinner, but great to see all of you.
Good to see you, Nay.
Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Night.
Night. Oh.